knowing that you're not wasting time, like figuring out is not wasted time. I don't know what's better, but like I think sometimes the rest before the hike can be is undervalued. So like resting, planning your route, or like, preparing properly, or like knowing properly what you're about to take, instead of just like hiking the mountain, like just straight up going for it, like appreciating the time before you know what hike you're gonna go on. That's also important. You can't just always be hiking. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to like give an analogy to like these seasons in life that I think are inevitable for anyone going through a time of like, wait, I don't really know where I'm going every day. And they're like, crap. That's kind of like the base camp of the mountain. Like, maybe there's different, trails. And you're like, damn, everyone else is going up every day and like they know what they're hiking and I still don't, and I don't feel prepared. And you're like, oh, you start to feel behind and everyone else is having a head start. But, first of all, maybe you just got done with a hike. It's like, maybe take a rest, because better to take a rest than like get started on the wrong path. But even if you take the wrong path, doesn't mean you can't like come back down. Like it's just not that serious. And I feel like that's kind of what is at the core of all of this. Life, no one just ends up at the finish line of life and was like, I did it, you guys didn't do it. That just doesn't exist. There's not one way to do it. And I just think it's a horrible thing to think about living your life in a way that you just are continuously ungrateful for it and sad about it and comparing it, because it's yours. Check, 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 check. Hello. Pardon my reach. I'm gonna try to do this before the sun goes away completely. I'm trying to think about what to talk about. I think something that I have noticed recently is my generation feeling like they're behind, or feeling like we're running out of time. I think I was on the TikTok and it was some girl just like basically having an existential crisis meltdown. Like, I'm not running out of time. I'm 22 and not even out of college yet. And whether you're 18, somewhere in your 20s, or even 30s, I feel like there's such a heavy weight on like Gen Z and like maybe last stage millennial, just of like running out of time. Um I don't know if maybe this is specific to just like America attitude, because I have friends and also a significant other that is not from America, was not born and raised here, and they don't seem to have the like weight and urgency that we have of feeling behind. And I don't know if that's something more like an American culture, of just like our hustle culture is more prominent, and our economy is just based like actually based on you just always being productive. And if you're not being productive, well, that's where it gets twisted, because who's defining productive? And productivity is so, I think, at least in American minds, so linked to production of like work, and productivity is not really seen like taking a chill pill or relaxing or spending quality time with people, or yeah, I don't know, like restful things are seen as unproductive more often than not. And you probably need to have about I don't know. I think it's like admirable, and people would consider it a balanced life if you are like 80% work, 20% resting. I guess kind of how like the average work day is also a 9 to 5, that you work, well, 9 to 5, and then you go home and you get a few hours to quote unquote rest, and then you start it over. And then also the work week itself, you have 7 days of a work week, but four of those, wait, five of those, sorry, you are working, and two of them you get to rest. So I think it's just like ingrained in us, in specifically American culture, because I have felt in other cultures that even this rigid schedule of work is not so rigid, or like you take longer lunches, or they have a, what is that, siesta, or you get off work earlier. I don't know, it's not so rigid, and so therefore I think it's not so ingrained in them. But I think another layer to this that exceeds the difference that I'm highlighting in just like American culture and hustle culture is the younger generation being so exposed to rapidly changing like trends, changing, I mean, everything's just changing so fast, even with AI. Like, what is that statistic? And I'm not even going to try to be accurate with it, but you know what I'm going to talk about. That basically 100 years ago, like the rate of change was a lot slower. Basically now, what is it, every year, like almost like the progress humans have made is like double. I know I'm butchering it, but you know what I'm talking about. Should I look it up? Let's get our facts straight. Okay. Okay. So apparently, number of, actually nope. Never mind. I'm not even gonna try to do this. Basically, I think the rate of change was doubling like every 2 years, and now it's doubling like every year, like every month, something like that. So I think that this contributes to that, and just feeling like, I don't know, you also see all these influencers so young, and everyone's so young doing so many huge things, and you're just like, shit, I'm behind. And you know what they say, comparison is a thief of joy. I think that I have been guilty of this, and I grew up with parents that were entrepreneurs, and they like taught us from such a young age to work now, play later, basically, like a mentality of you're gonna reap what you sow, and it's so much better to like reap or sow early, like put your effort in now so that you're gonna really have those fruits of your work like down the road. um but I think I took it too far. I think that I'm better about it now, but now I think I'm trying to find like a good balance, and I do feel a little, I guess, behind on trying to figure out what I really want to do with my life and what that really means. Does anyone really decide one thing that they want to do their whole life, or does saying what do I want to do with my life, is it more like an underlying feeling you want to have with your life? Like, I want, whatever I do, I want to know that I don't know, make people feel comforted, or whatever I do, I want to be doing something active. I don't know, like maybe a more underlying thing, because I think that's why kind of midlife crisis happens, because I don't think anyone can really just do one actual thing their entire life and not really get bored of it. I don't even know if humans are supposed to do that. I think of doctors, like some kids just really know from the time they're born that they're going to be a doctor, and that's what they do, and that's what they do their entire life, for forever and ever. And that's just crazy to me. And I'm sure that some doctors probably get halfway through and they're just like, I don't even care. I'm not passionate about this, but I've got so good at it and it makes such good money that like I'm just going to stick it out and like seek out passion in hobbies in like other, what is that, extra extracurriculars or whatever as an adult to find that passion in life and not see it through your career. And I also think that's okay if you decide like my career is not going to be my passion, but I'm going to use it to like pursue my passion. I think it's also fine. They do say like if you find what you're passionate about and do it for work, like you'll never work a day in your life. But I don't know if that's true. I think I have experienced doing something that I love and trying to make money off of it before, and I stopped to like love that thing. And I think probably more creative people can relate to this. Like I feel like I also am a creative person, that if I don't know, let's say you're an artist and that's your job to make art, and then you get like a creative's block, you know, because like you've basically poured all your creativity out, and at some point you need to fill your own cup back in to be able to make more art. And at those times that you are kind of like staring at a blank wall, like I let's say you got commissioned to make an art, you don't know, I don't know, you don't have an inspiration for it. Like it's no longer you're making or doing your job out of inspiration. It's like, no, I have an order, I have to do this, it's an obligation. And I think that's when it can start to feel, you know, like work again. And so I think that it's not always true that if you just do something that, you know, you think you love or you do love, but do it for work, doesn't mean that you're just gonna always love it and be happy every single day about what you do. You know what I mean? So where's this thinking taking us? Thinking about feeling behind. Let me think about, my hand still smells like a taco from earlier. I ate tacos, but it's specifically my thumb. I don't think my fingers do, but only my thumb like tacos. Ooh, but I washed it like twice, but not my right hand or left hand. So let me think about when I have felt behind, or like I'm behind in life. Well, right now, do I feel behind? I feel like I've become aware that I don't like really agree with this thinking of being behind. So when I catch myself maybe feeling it, I'm like, but wait, I don't really agree with that. And I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I think that we feel behind because we're young and we're supposed to like, I don't know, life is a race. You know, you're supposed to win the race of life. But I think it's a journey, and I think everyone's journey is different. And I think lots of people can even find and stumble upon like what they really want life to be at so many different times of their life. Like maybe someone was on the road to be a doctor, but let's say went to some like herbal earthy retreat, and he was like, no, I now know that I'm supposed to be a monk, or I am supposed to live in a small town and have like a tea shop. Like it's no longer for me, the life that I was chasing. Like I think that you can stumble upon those revelations of your life even at different points of your life, and maybe there's different, like for a better word, eras of your life. Maybe one part of your life is being, I need to find a different example besides a doctor. Let's say a hairstylist. Like that's been a thing of yours that you've wanted to do, so do that. But then it's not wrong and you're not behind if you then are like, wait, but maybe I'm okay to close this chapter and become a painter, to start a sourdough business. I don't know. Like, none of that means you're behind. And none of it means that you got it wrong. It just means that you grew and you did one thing and you moved on to the next thing. I think also there's too much pressure to know all the time. Like, I think I've become more okay with just not knowing at times, and knowing that I will know eventually. Also, you just need to do the next step, because tomorrow's never promised for anyone. Cliche again. But what's that quote from Kung Fu Panda? Like, Basically, the past is the past, the future is the future, and the present is the gift. And the truth is, even the person that you think that has it all together or knows exactly where they're going could wake up tomorrow and not know. They could wake up tomorrow and have a massive curveball thrown into their life. Like, just because someone thinks they know today doesn't mean they're going to know tomorrow. And just because you don't know today doesn't mean you're not going to know tomorrow. So we could all just kind of be a little bit more okay with just taking it one step at a time. I think that comes with an obvious balance of having, some, maybe sometimes you don't have, like, I was going to say, like, some sense of direction, because yes, of course you need to want to probably take a step in some sort of direction every day, and have a discipline in your life that you maybe don't know where the final destination is, but to some degree what type of person you are, at least. Like, I don't know. Me, moi, yo. What are other ways to say me? Okay, for my bilingual people. Myself. Let me think. I don't know what next year will look like for me. Some people do. Some people know that they're graduating next year. Some people know that they're moving to X place because their job's taking them next year. Some people know maybe that they're having a kid next year. Maybe some people know that they are getting married next year. I don't know. Like, some people really do know what they're doing a year from now, and some people probably have a definite goal of what they want to be doing in 5 years. For myself, I have not a good idea of what I will realistically be doing 1 year from now, if I will be living in the same place, if I will be doing the same career, if I will have the same relationships, if I will have the same haircut. I've been thinking about changing my hair. Like, there's a lot I don't know, but what I do know is that I'm not a giver upper. I know that whatever I do end up doing, I want to be positive. I want to be healthy. I want to take care of myself and those around me. I want to have good habits in my life. Like, I have a sense, I guess, of character I want to have no matter what I'm doing. And so just because I don't know right now to wake up and, let's say I was like, I'm going to be a DJ, which probably need to close my door because there's little fleas? What are these? The bugs that go on your wine? What type of bug is that? Even though I don't know. Okay, I was saying the DJ. I actually do have a hobby of DJing. Whatever. Let's say I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a pro DJ. Then every day I would probably wake up and base all my activities of my day based around that. I would practice. I would go to lessons, but I don't know that. I don't know that's what I want to do. That was just an example. But I can know if I was doing that or not doing that I want to have all those character traits that I just described. So I'm still going to wake up every day and start it with a good habit of working out and moving my body, and then doing a morning meditation, being grateful, starting my day with gratefulness and gratitude, gratefulness, same thing. Eating healthy, giving myself good nutritional meals, that I am going to, I don't know, take active steps to also figuring out, like, what I do really want to do. Being smart with my money, like, there are everyday things that you can still do. So you get what I'm stepping in. You're picking up what I'm setting down. I think that can be helpful, of kind of like getting that weight off of your back. Knowing that you're not wasting time, like, figuring out is not wasted time. And I don't know what's better, but, like, I think sometimes the rest before the hike can be is undervalued. So, like resting, planning your route, or like, preparing properly, or like knowing properly what you're about to take on, instead of just like hiking the mountain, like just straight up going for it, like appreciating the time before you know what hike you're going to go on. That's also important. You can't just always be hiking. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to like give an analogy to like these seasons in life that I think are inevitable for anyone, not just the 20-year-old or 30-year-old. It can be for the 40-year-old. It can be for anyone going through a time of like, wait, I don't really know where I'm going every day. And they're like, crap. That's kind of like the base camp of the mountain. Like, maybe there's different, trails. And you're like, damn, everyone else is going up every day and like they know what they're hiking and I still don't, and I don't feel prepared. And you're like, oh, you start to feel behind and everyone else is having a head start. But, first of all, maybe you just got done with a hike. I'm saying maybe some other adventure in your life. I don't know. Maybe something that could happen like this is exiting high school. You just finished like a journey or a hike of itself, a time period of life, and then you're kind of like, but what now? I don't know what I need to do in college. I'm gonna be behind if I go to college late. What if I don't go to college? It's like, maybe take a rest, because better to take a rest than like get started on the wrong path. But even if you take the wrong path, doesn't mean you can't like come back down. Like it's just not that serious. And I feel like that's kind of what is at the core of all of this. Life, no one just ends up at the finish line of life and was like, I did it, you guys didn't do it. That just doesn't exist. And different people want things at the end of life, or I don't know. I think also there's lessons for each person to live in life. Like, there's not one way to do it. And I just think it's a horrible thing to think about living your life in a way that you just are continuously ungrateful for it and sad about it and comparing it, because it's yours. You can have fun or not have fun. Like, a lot of people know exactly what they do and achieve things, financial things, but still didn't like enjoy the journey and regret that they even took that. They regret that they hiked that far and that long without letting themselves turn back also, or getting to the top and being like, I never even wanted to take that freaking hike. It was my freaking buddy that told me to, or it was my parents that were like, you have to do that hike. I'm thinking about maybe some parents that pressure their kids. Again, best example I can think of is like a doctor, or maybe one parent was in a certain field or career and was like, I need you to take over the family business. This is your path. And so it's like the kid's like, oh shit, like I have to do this. I have to go on the hike. Okay, here I go. And then they get there to the top and they're like, wait, I didn't even want to do this. Like, I wish I would have stayed at the base a little longer, not knowing with the other people, us, to actually figure out what I want. So I don't think it's a bad place to be. I think another way I can think of you feeling behind is in romantic relationships, like feeling that you're missing out, or that you're getting too, like the years are passing you without finding your person. And let's say this is something you really wanted in your life and you're like, everyone else is having it and I'm not. And I don't know, you can start to feel a lot like time becomes really heavy sometimes in that area of someone's life, if that's some like you want a life partner. And I think the same rules apply, that sometimes people dive in too fast and then they find out down the road that's not even who they want to be with. And they're already too deep in, you know? I think there is something to be said about just like commitment, but I don't think a lot of things should be rushed. And I don't know why. Well, I guess we do know why. Like, why there are these timelines that we probably start putting on ourselves. I guess traditionally, like, first of all, we died a lot younger, and people got married a lot younger. They got married younger because it was like a necessity to reproduce and like keep up the family bloodline. And I don't know, there were pressures on marriage and the timeline beyond like the individual's desire. Also like actual realities of, I mean, they didn't live very long. And anyways, I think specifically women can still feel this timeline because we do have a biological clock. And so if that is something a woman wants, it does start to weigh on you when the older you get. And thankfully to modern technologies, we can kind of like intervene and like buy ourselves some extra time, but it still can get like, I don't know, scary or sad. And it's hard. I mean, I'm not promising that everything's just going to be perfect to everyone, but I do think at the end of the day, most things like work out. I think also if you have an attitude of like positivity and like everything's gonna be okay. And I think, I don't know, I've been learning something about the law of attraction, of just what you focus on can be, which is also just like so frustrating because you're like, that's just not fair. Example, I have struggled with acne for like a solid 2 years now, and someone told me the other day, like, just the more that you focus on it, like it's just going to continue, so you just need to like get your mind off of it and it will probably go away. And I'm like, the so annoying. It's just like, okay, thanks, but absolutely no thank you. You're so annoying. Um Also for someone to tell you like, hey, when you're gonna like find the love of your life is when you're gonna stop caring about finding the love of your life. You're like, shut up. Like but I guess there is just like a lesson to learn and like letting go. Um Now we're in moody lighting. This is my backyard. Isn't she pretty? My boyfriend hung the lights. Gracias. What was I saying? There's something to just like letting go, you know? I think that one thing that I can like maybe directly or have a direct experience to just like letting something go and like getting the outcome that I want is with fitness for me at one point. In high school, I was not overweight by any means, but I think I held on to like some extra like fat in my body that I didn't know why wasn't going away. And I was so strict on training, like hit intervals, counting calories, like everything. And I just got to a point where I was like, bro, I won't let myself eat olive oil because it has too many calories in it. And I was like, who makes these rules? Like, how in the hell is like Walmart 0 calorie spray healthier, like truly healthier for my body than like some OG good olive oil? It's like, it's not. And it's just stupid that I can't enjoy actually true healthy things because I'm gonna eat like a substitute piece of plastic, even like the protein bars and shit, like versus a salmon because it's higher in fats and has like healthy fats. And so I just said screw it, and I threw caution to the wind, and I was like, I'm gonna eat healthy and fuel my body and just like not really care, like for the first time ever, about like, really, I'm gonna put like my nutrition before I put like physical aesthetics. And what happened? I dropped the extra weight. And this is not fitness advice at all. And it could not be the reason that happened. I don't know. I think possibly I was stressing my body a lot. I was stressing my mind a lot. And also it was just the fact of like kind of like relaxing into a truth almost. And maybe a truth of feeling like you're running out of time is like, you know what? I never controlled life in the first place. Like, I don't make the sunrise. I don't make the moon come out. Like, I'm just here. Like, I've never made the world go round anyways. I have the power to make the decisions that I can make, but like everything else, it's good. And I don't know, realigning yourself with what like is true. Like, I'm grateful. I am likable. I can have fun in life. Like, I don't know, not putting everything into one cup or all your eggs in one basket and just kind of not hyper fixating on one thing that you wish you had, but being more letting your gratitude for everything else that you have to be larger than the thing that you don't have. I think it's pretty powerful and can give you a total new perspective on life almost instantly. So I think that I'm going to end it there because I'm probably just going to start saying stuff out of my ass if I go any longer. So cheers. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts. See you next week.